Coach Burnett, camp season is upon you, man. 2018, you got about 70 kids here this week. How is it going for the Burnett trained camp system this year?
Wow, this is going great this week. This is usually our favorite camp, to be honest with you. It's primarily junior high and younger kids. So there's a few high schoolers in here, kind of helping us out and getting some extra training in and whatnot. But it's a great camp, some hammers, got some little hammers in here, just striving to get better. The novice kids, the ones that don't know quite as much, are jumping right in there and mixing it up with the hammers, and I think the week's going pretty well so far.
So you look at this, the camp system, you guys are on like year 21 of it, basically.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, year 21 of it. You guys started out in a barn, about a full mat, not quite, but and then you took a weight room out and made it a full mat. But an apartment you lived in, and this thing has grown. Now you got 3 full mats. 70 plus kids. You could probably do about 80 or 90, probably the max. But what's it like having the system grow? But I was at Defense Soap today, and he said he's grown slowly. You guys have grown slowly to a degree. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I don't think we've sacrificed anything as far as the quality of the training. Sometimes when you have a lot of kids, you have to make sure you staff properly so that kids are getting the individual attention they need. We were lucky. We had the opportunity to work with some tremendous kids and families when we were starting out, and it just kind of rolled from there. We put time in, put a lot of good quality time in with a lot of people we worked with, and in turn, I'm not naive. I understand that people, they're drawn, they want to get their kids wrestling hammers, and when we had a group of hammers in there, a while back, people came in to work with them, and then they saw that we did a pretty good job with kids, and so we just kind of grew from there. And throughout the years, it's like I'm having a lot of fun right now because my sons are getting to the point to where they're both going to be in high school. So this crop of high school students or wrestlers from Ohio and Pennsylvania, Michigan, I know a lot more about just because they were my sons were in that group. So it's just been growth and it's been just a blast for me.
Speaking of which, your son Mick was just runner-up in freestyle in Fargo in the cadets. Congratulations, first
Thanks.
of all. He had a great run in the tournament. Ran into a real tough guy from Colorado in the finals. Scored the only points on the guy with the hands to the face, which is probably not how you wanted to score his points. But if you guys look at your style, it's inside control, tricep tie, shots, single legs, barrel rolls, fireman's dump. You look at your system; it's very different than Jordan's, which is a collar tie system, but I noticed Nate today, your son Nate, he can wrestle on the mat. And you talked about that was something that kind of really hurt you in college. You couldn't wrestle on the mat as much as the PA guys you were wrestling.
Yeah.
How much has it evolved and changed for you as far as your style here at Burnett Train, what you guys are doing, wrestling on the mat, wrestling on your feet, and really stressing the mat?
We tried to focus a lot on that. Even right after when I finished up in college, and then I did a couple of years of coaching college and wrestling freestyle. After that, I came home and I jumped into coaching, and I just felt like that was an area that I wasn't ready. So we tried to put a lot of time and focus into that. Not sure we even did right off the rip. I don't know, 20 years ago if we were doing enough of it, or 25 years ago I should say. But as kids are getting to the state tournament, maybe they're not reaching the goals that they're setting because they can't get off the bottom, or they can't hold a guy down, or they can't turn them, or they get called for stalling on top, which in Ohio is. It's kind of more the norm than anything else. But, we've tried to encourage kids to work harder on the mat. And as coaches, we've tried to focus more there. You got to be multidimensional. I guess if you can just take everybody down and get away from everybody, that's great. However, you're going to run into that guy here or there, as I did in college, that you had to have something going on the mat. So we've put a lot of time and effort into that.
Looking at Ohio in general, you just alluded to it. Sometimes they officiate it differently on the mat, and I thought they've gotten actually better with it. They're letting the guys work a little more on the top.
Oh, Ohio's definitely made progress, definitely. But it's one of those things where we're trying to. We want our kids trying to turn somebody. Sometimes it takes a while to develop a turn, and it's a little frustrating if a kid gets hit for stalling, particularly in a really close match. Because I get it. If a kid's cutting grass on top and he's just trying to hold somebody down, that's one thing. He probably should get hit. But if he's working, if he's got that cross wrist and he's working for a turn and he's getting out to the side. Oh man, I just hope they're allowed to work. And I have to say, Ohio is better. We're getting better in that regard, and I think that's helping us at the next level collegiately.
I don't know if you saw the video. My friend Joe Williamson did it for Grow Wrestling, and Grow Wrestling is like a new thing he started. But he asked everybody he literally asked, which was John Reeder, everybody he interviewed. This Nick Simmons, the East Lansing Strangler, all these guys up and down the spectrum, really good people. Everybody was talking about the process. Mm-hmm. Your son was runner-up at Fargo this year, runner-up in the state. I saw you, after both events. I didn't see you after the Fargo thing immediately, but I saw you after the state one. You weren't mad. Mm-hmm. Is the process, that kind of flies in the face when you don't win, but you still did the process. You did everything. You left no stone unturned. Mm-hmm. Is the process? Is it really working out for you? You're still gaining great bond with your son. He hasn't won the two things you wanted him to win, his goals, mm-hmm. but he's there. He's right there. And is the process as important as people say the process is, and the training and the camaraderie you build with other people and doing things right and discipline and hard work ethic, be on time, do the right thing? Is that really what everybody says it is?
So when you want to have a positive relationship with your son, and once again, everything is individualized. Okay, so one person's definition of quality relationship is one thing. So everybody differs on that. My thought process when it comes to my boys is, we're going to work well together. We're going to work well together on what they're trying to do academically. We're going to and this includes their mother, Janet. Okay, we're all working together to try to ensure that they have the best opportunities to succeed. Okay, so getting mad about something that has already happened, okay, and holding that and walking around angry for 2 days, 3 days, it's not helpful. It's not helpful at all. Kid messes up, does something he knows he shouldn't have done. If he needs to be grounded, he needs to be grounded, whatever. But when it comes to sports, academics, things like that, it's what they want. If Mick wants to become a state champion and a Fargo champion, then he's going to need to do what he needs to do. And he did a lot this year to make improvements. He did follow the process. Did he do enough? I don't know. Mick can answer that, but I'm not going to sit back and judge him. I see the work he puts in. I know what he's striving to do, and I saw the process. I saw his effort. So the kids can always answer. They have the answer to that. Did I do enough? It's the bottom line. I know I tell the kids my story all the time about finishing 5th in the country. I got 5th, right? I apparently did enough to get 5th that year, and so these guys they're gonna earn everything they get. That being said, I'm really proud. I'm really proud of the effort. I'm proud of what they're doing. Mick is on vacation this week, and he deserved a vacation, and but he's going to get his lifts in. He knows what he needs to do right now. Nate didn't have to come to this camp. Nate's had a good summer. He's done a lot of wrestling. He's going into high school next year, and I've left it up to him. He decided to come to camp this week. So as a dad, you know what I mean? What do I have to gripe about? I have nothing to gripe about. My kid is here, and it was on his own terms.
So I remember the story. Dave Schultz, I want to say, talked to you at Brecksville one year when he was recruiting for Wisconsin, and he's like, "Hey man, you're really good at wrestling, but we don't need you at Wisconsin," and it was great. Now you have your son Mick, who's set up he can go Ivy League. Mm-hmm. So opposite of the situation you and Scotty were in. Right. You were a non-qualifier. Scotty went to a JUCO, right? So you look at where you guys were to where your kids are. Is that something you really strive for, academics and that type of thing? And he's set up to go where he wants to go.
Well, we've always encouraged, Janet and I have always encouraged our kids to be able to pick their college and not have their college pick them. So the opportunities you create, if you keep your grades as high as you can keep them, if you work hard to try to get these good test scores, things like that, and if you're just a good person, or you strive to be a good person, you should have plenty of opportunities. I don't want them limited. I would like them to continue to keep the doors open and look at several different opportunities. My situation was you got these guys you want to be worked with by a Dave Schultz or by some of the other coaches that we're talking to me, but there's no way they could take that risk. Okay, there's no way that they even 30 years ago that anybody could have taken a risk on a student like me, and I get it. So I've tried to ensure that the kids I coach, not just my sons, but the kids that we coach, are giving themselves those opportunities.
What was it like when Schultz told you that? Was it deflating?
No, it wasn't at all. It was a good check for me. it was a check. It was like, hey man, you know, I realized at that moment, you know, man, you know, what everybody's been telling me has been right, has been correct. The advice I've been getting is correct. I haven't heeded people's advice, and now here I am. Now that being said, Clarendon University, I'll tell you right now, did right by me. Coach Bub, Coach Davis, Coach Nellis, Coach Armengol, they all did right by me. So, you know, things happen for a reason, and I'm pleased with how it turned out. But like I said, if I can make or try to set it up to where my kids may have an easier route to go, then that's the goal.
Session's coming up. What do you want kids to get out of the camp?
I want them to get better, okay, make progress. I want them to have fun, and hopefully they'll win. And we talk about those three things on any given weekend. If you get one or two of those things, you got a good weekend. Right? If you had fun, you had a good weekend. If you had fun, you got the crap kicked out of you, you made no progress, well, you still kind of had a good weekend, you had fun, right? If you had fun and you made progress, you had a great weekend. If you had fun, you made progress, and you won, wow, that was a killer weekend, right? So these kids are here winning. Obviously, there's nobody getting their hand raised, there's no medals handed out, but kids walk out of here knowing whether they won or lost. So if they can get any one of those three things out of this camp, then I think everybody's done their job.
All right, I'll let you get back into camp. You got anything else for me?
No, thanks for being here, man. Thanks for all you do.